Hey guys, I got an excellent article that I read the other day, and I've saved like probably about 9 articles, and I'm gonna do a little story on each one because I think a lot of this carries over to expats, and it might help a lot of expats, and it might help you to succeed or know if you're going to succeed over here. And one thing I found is a lot of things from my past have helped me to succeed over here as an expat. And success is what, your happiness. If you're happy over here, you're successful, and if you're not happy over here, you're not successful. But there's certain things that will help boost you and make you more resilient and more successful over here than others over here. Don't think that when you come over here, everything's going to be all, joyful and happy all the time. It's not. And you'll always have a monkey on your back over here, no matter what. And it could be in your neighborhood. It could be anything. It doesn't matter if you're in the United States or if you're in Thailand, you're going to have monkeys on your back sometimes. They just exist here, and I want to get into this. But don't think, life is going to be perfect. And everybody pretty much knows that life is not perfect. It's rough sometimes for some people, and some people get lucky and they go through and they don't have anything happen to them barely. It's almost like they're untouchable. But anyway, I want to throw this at you. The guy's name is Clifton Kopp. It's 9 things in life. If you experience these 9 things in life, you're more resilient than you think. And he goes on to say, he says, life can throw us curveballs, can it? And I'm going to comment on all this stuff afterwards, after each thing. Sometimes we're faced with challenges that test our strength and resolve. But guess what? You've weathered certain storms. You're probably more resilient than you give yourself credit for, okay? Resilience is about bouncing back from adversity and coming out stronger. It's about taking the hits and still moving forward. You might not even realize how tough you are. I've put together a list of 10 experiences that indicate you've got this resilience thing down pat. Get ready to be pleasantly surprised as we delve into the signs that you're more resilient than you think. Look, you're where you are today and you made it through life. That's number one. You've probably made it through a lot of things already in your life, and that's significant right there on its own. And number one, he says you've faced significant setbacks. You've had those moments where life knocks us down, but it's not about the number of times you fall, it's about the number of times you get back up. All of us have gotten back up after a while. It might take longer than others, but that's part of being resilient. Experiencing significant setbacks in life can be tough. It can shake our confidence and challenge our resolve. But if you've been through this and you're still standing, that's a testament to your resilience. Setbacks aren't failures. They're opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. They test our determination and force us to find creative solutions. Acknowledge and appreciate your ability to overcome substantial challenges. That's a testament to your genuine resilience. Resilience isn't about steering clear of difficulty. It's about confronting them directly and emerging even more robust. If you've navigated through tough times and emerged with resilience intact, give yourself credit. You possess more resilience than you might realize. I look at this past 8 months, and I've had a rough time this past 8 months, especially with my sciatica issues, but also having pneumonia and the flu and everything else that we've had this past 8 months, and going through some issues. And I'm thank God I'm at the other side now. I still have the sciatica, I still have that issue, but I'm learning different ways to deal with it. And I'm still suffering in the morning, but that's part of being resilient. You get up in the morning, you push through it, and you try to keep on pushing. And every morning it's like it's a struggle getting out of bed for me because of the sciatica. Anybody that has sciatica knows it's like that. But that's part of being resilient, is getting up and getting out of bed and getting past that pain and get going in the morning. Number 2, you push out of your comfort zone. Oh, the comfort zone, he says. It's such a cozy and familiar place, but the magic, as they say, happens outside of it. And that's true. I remember when I was asked to give a keynote speech at a big event, he says. Public speaking was not my forte, and the very thought of it used to give me jitters, but I knew this was an opportunity I couldn't turn down. Inhaling deeply, I gathered my thoughts, delivered my speech, and stepped beyond my comfort zone. Admittingly, there were nerves and a few stumbling moments, but you know what? I accomplished it. This experience taught me that stepping out of our comfort zones is crucial for growth. It's challenging, it's uncomfortable, but it's also where we learn to adapt and overcome. If you dared to take that leap, if you dared to take that leap outside your comfort zone, you're demonstrating resilience. Resilience extends beyond overcoming challenges. It encompasses embracing change and welcoming new experiences. Anybody that has stepped out already and come to the Philippines to live is stepping outside their comfort zone. Think about that. Or they're stepping into their comfort zone. You can look at that both ways. Remember that. Some spots here you might think are your comfort zone, and they might not be. If you find that you're unhappy in one area, move to another area. You know, we all have struggles in some places. Sometimes it's just time to pack up your stuff and go. You know, and for many, that's the way to go. Find another comfort zone, another place to be happy. Number 3, you've shown empathy in difficult situations. In the throes of a challenging situation, it's easy to become self-absorbed or defensive. But those who can extend empathy towards others, even when you're going through a tough time themselves, show a high level of resilience. Empathy is not just about understanding and sharing the feelings of others. It's also about demonstrating tolerance, patience, and emotional strength. One study that explored this relationship was conducted by Dr. Tanya Singer and her colleagues. The research, published in the journal Psychoneuroendocrinology in 2009, examined the impact of empathy on the stress response. The findings suggested that individuals with higher levels of empathy exhibited more positive stress response, including lower levels of stress hormone cortisol. They tend to have better mental health and more satisfied with their lives. If you've maintained compassion and understanding amid adversity, you're not just contributing to a kinder world, but you're showcasing your resilience. This speaks volumes about your emotional strength and your capacity to overcome personal challenges. Empathy, I think, helps you because it helps you know that you're helping people and making the world a better place. And as expats, we run into people that need a lot of help over here in the Philippines, and it's good to show empathy for those people sometimes, and it just helps the world. It makes the world a better place. Number 4, you've learned from your mistakes. Here's a big one. A lot of people don't learn from their mistakes. They keep repeating their mistakes. There's a common saying that mistakes are the best teachers, and it's true. Making a mistake isn't always pleasant, but it can be a powerful learning experience. Mistakes give us a chance to pause, reflect, and figure out what went wrong. They push us to reassess and rethink our strategies, and most importantly, they teach us not to repeat the same errors. If you've made mistakes in the past, and who hasn't, and you've taken them as lessons instead of failures, you're demonstrating resilience. And I try to do that. I try to learn from my mistake and move past that, and there's always a good lesson in any mistake. You just have to realize what that lesson was. You're showing that you can take responsibility for your actions, learn from your missteps, and move forwards with newfound knowledge. Resilient people don't shy away from their mistakes. They embrace them as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. If you've made mistakes and gleaned valuable lessons from them, give yourself credit. Your resilience exceeds your perception. Number 5, you've taken risk. Risk-taking is scary. It means stepping into the unknown, accepting uncertainty, and being open to failure, but it also means opening up the possibility for a great reward. Now that fits in with us as expats. We're definitely risk takers to be jumping off from another country and coming over here. Let me see. Taking risks shows that you're not afraid to challenge the status quo, to try new things, and put yourself out there. It shows that you're willing to face potential failure head on, and that's a clear sign of resilience. If you've ever taken a calculated risk, whether it was starting a new business, moving to a new city, or just trying a new hobby, and faced with the consequences, good or bad, you've demonstrated resilience. Resilient people understand that without risk, there's no reward. Congratulations, you've taken a leap of faith and embraced the unknown. You're demonstrating resilience beyond what you may acknowledge. Taking that leap of faith over here is huge. And like I said, that's part of it right there. Number 6, you've endured heartbreak. Heartache, be it from a romantic relationship, a friendship, or even a loss of a loved one, is one of life's toughest experiences. It can leave us feeling vulnerable, lost, and deeply wounded. But if you've gone through this painful experience and found a way to heal and move forward, you're displaying immense resilience. Heartbreak forces us to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. It teaches us about our capacity to feel, to love, and most importantly, to recover and open our hearts again. Healing from heartbreak isn't easy. It takes time, patience, and a lot of self-care. But the fact that you're here, that you've survived heartbreak and are still capable of love and connection, is a true testament to your resilience. Keep in mind, our identity isn't shaped by heartbreak, but by how we overcome it. If you've endured a storm of heartbreak and emerged stronger, acknowledge the credit you deserve. Your resilience surpasses your estimation. I think it's like a heartbreak just kind of leaving the U.S. and coming over here for some, because you leave a lot of relatives behind that you still love. There are a lot of people over here that don't even have relatives. They've just had problems with them and they moved over here. I'm sure they left somebody behind that they care about, but you're definitely stepping out in a big way. Number 7, you've adapted to major life changes. Now, that's us. Life is constant flurry of changes, some minor, others monumental. Adjusting to these shifts can be overwhelming and disorienting. A few years ago, I moved to New York City. It was a whirlwind of change, a new job, new friends, new environment. It was exciting, but also incredibly daunting. There were moments of loneliness and self-doubt, but with time, I found my footing, and it began to thrive in my new surroundings. Adapting to change is a process. It requires us to let go of the familiar, embrace the uncertainty, but it's in this process that we develop resilience. I'd agree with that. When you've adapted to major life changes like coming over here, that's resilience right there. A lot of us that have come over here and have become successful and enjoy our stay here are, it kind of proves your resilience, because you made it over here, you're living over here, you're happy over here. If you've successfully traversed substantial life changes, not merely surviving but thriving, you're exemplifying resilience. Change is unavoidable, yet how we respond to it is a conscious decision. By choosing to adapt and grow in the face of change, you're highlighting the extent of your resilience. Everybody usually makes it through everything. The majority of people can usually push through almost everything. And a lot of us don't give ourselves credit for that resilience that we do have in here. A lot of us have resilience, but we don't give ourselves credit. And usually we get on that Debbie Downer thing, where we feel down, we talk down about everything. But most of us push through things, whether we want to give ourselves credit for it or not. Some people can be a real downer, and they when they get into a bad time, they get stuck in that for a long time. I could be like that sometimes too, but I think all of us do to a certain extent if it's something that really hurts or bothers us, but we eventually push through it, and it's part of coping and becoming more resilient. Number 8, you've maintained a positive attitude during tough times. That's key. I mean, all of us get down for a little while, maybe in the beginning stages of something that happens during the tough times, but we always get by it. Think of all the bad times you've had in the past and how you've gotten through it after a while. You kind of move on from that. Let's face it, staying positive during difficult times is not easy. It's natural to feel overwhelmed, anxious, and even a bit pessimistic when life gets tough. If you've managed to keep a positive outlook even in the face of adversity, you're showing resilience. Keeping a positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring your problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging the difficulties, but also believing in your ability to overcome them. That's key. It's focusing on the good, even when it seems overshadowed by the bad. In addition, it's finding the silver lining, no matter how thin it may be. Demonstrating resilience in action, staying optimistic amid challenging times. A lot of guys that come over here and that do fail, and it's because they're not staying optimistic and, during the challenging times. They're just not. And that's part of it. It's key. I've seen some people just give up and throw in the towel and say, I'm quitting. Or certain things bother them over here. You adapt, you change. you move. You go someplace else. If that place bothers you, you move. You know, if it's something else, you fix it. You know. Number 9, you've kept going no matter what. Life can be a roller coaster filled with highs and lows. There are moments of joy, moments of sorrow, and everything in between. But the true measure of resilience isn't how we act during the good times, but how we react during the tough ones. That's the truth. Resilience is evident when you've confronted adversity, encountered setbacks, and persisted despite the challenges. It involves forging ahead even when the going gets tough, resisting the urge to give up when every instinct urges you to throw in the towel. Now, I've gone through that, you know, sometimes over the past 8 months and stuff like that, and many times in my life. I'm sure all of us have gone through stuff like that. It's just a fact of life. But you don't give up. You just keep moving. Keep this in mind. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding falls altogether. It means consistently rising after each stumble. If you discover that you're still standing, consistently forging ahead despite the challenges life has thrown your way, congratulations. Your resilience exceeds your recognition. That's very true. A lot of people don't give themselves any credit. He says his final thoughts, resilience is a journey, not a destination. When it comes to resilience, it's less about reaching a certain point and more about the journey of getting there. It's an ongoing process, the state of mind that keeps evolving as we navigate through life's high and lows. I'm sorry, I got lost there for a second. American psychologist and author Chris Johnstone once said, resilience isn't a single skill. It's a variety of skills and coping mechanisms to bounce back from bumps in the road as well as failures. You should focus on emphasizing the positive. This quote beautifully encapsulates the essence of resilience. It's not about never facing difficulties, but about harnessing a variety of skills to cope with them and focusing on the positive. That's the key right there. He goes on to say, remember this, every setback you've overcome, every risk you've overtaken, every change you've adapted to, they've all contributed to your resilience. They've shaped you into the person you are today. You know, I look back at my life and you know, I think those things have shaped me and have shaped you too. So as you move forward in your journey, remember to acknowledge your resilience, take pride in it, and most importantly, keep going. Because of the fact that you're still standing here today is proof enough that you're more resilient than you think. Wow. You know, we often don't give ourselves enough credit sometimes. And I've seen some guys come over here and anxiety takes over sometimes. And just the fact that they got off the plane over here and they flew over here shows that they have some resilience. But sometimes people still throw in that towel for whatever reason. And you got to fight that feeling when you get over here. A lot of guys come over here and they see that it's such a huge change over here in the Philippines. It's totally different. It's like stepping onto a different planet when you're stepping into a third world country, especially coming from the US or the UK or Canada or New Zealand or Australia or wherever you're coming from. Denmark, could be anywhere. You know, it's a huge step. And you just got to keep on keeping on. That's the key. You have to keep on keeping on. You have to keep that ball rolling all the time and stay strong, and you'll survive. Don't let anybody take you down. I mean, I have naysayers with me. I got, you know, idiots doing vlogs on me sometimes, and you know, and I don't pay any attention to them. You know, they're just, you know, fleas on my shoulder. You know, you just don't let people bother you. You're always going to have people that are going to put roadblocks in front of you, or they're going to try to take you down or whatever. You know, I say this, just ignore them. It bothers them all the more when you ignore them, you know, and it's just the best way to go about it sometimes. And some of them will keep on, you know, trying to bug you and get you going and stuff like that. And if they get your goat, who's winning? They are. You know, don't let anybody get your goat. Stay resilient and you'll make it over here. Survival over here, the biggest part of surviving over here is not the atmosphere or the place or anything like that. It's the people. And if you learn to deal with the people over here, you got it made. You know, then you got it made. You just have to learn how to deal with the people, and that's the hardest part over here. God bless, guys. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show.